North Wilkesboro returns? That's what SMI's Marcus Smith claims. Will the fan favorite circuit finally return? And in particular, will it return to the NASCAR Cup Series? Plus, something that is returning to the NASCAR Cup Series is practice. But it also comes with one of the most out-of-touch statements I've heard in a long while. Let's get into it. Now, before we get started, I got some personal notes about what to expect content-wise from me this weekend. I will be participating in 2 esports events sanctioned by different sanctioning bodies. I will be racing in the Mooncar 24, which is 24 hours at Martinsville in Mazda Miatas. I don't know exactly when I'm going to be driving, but certainly you can check out Moon Vision TV and watch it, or you can just kind of subscribe to my secondary channel, which the link will be in the description, DL Live, and I'll try to stream when I'm doing stints. Also, this weekend is the Save the Freedom 100, which is put on by my pal, Racing Nation TV. I'll be running in that. It'll be Pro Mazdas at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. If you saw last year, I did stream my onboard from that race. I'll be doing that again, and also the race will be broadcast on Racing Nation TV's channel. And we've got an IndyCar Silly Season update video. This will not be about the Indy 500. This is about IndyCar, so the full season of IndyCar. And hopefully I can provide some information that you may not have heard elsewhere. But we should probably actually start talking about the things that are titled in this video, and that is North Wilkesboro. Bob Pockrass dropped a Pockrass bomb? A Bob bomb? I don't know. He dropped a bomb today, and it is in the form of a quote from Marcus Smith, who is the CEO of Speedway Motorsports, Inc. And Pockrass says, Marcus Smith, and its goal is to modernize North Wilkesboro Speedway so it can host racing and special events again. Obviously, that is something that people have been begging and begging and begging for years and years and years. Ever since NASCAR left North Wilkesboro in 1996, there's been people asking for it to come back. Save the Speedway. You may be familiar with them. But tax dollars has been something that apparently is going to be a major factor in this. There's an influx in North Carolina of tax dollars to racetracks and other similar sort of event places. One of those that was granted tax dollars was North Wilkesboro. Now, North Wilkesboro has already been heavily rumored to host an SRX event as early as next year. SRX has not announced as of this time their schedule, but they've teased it, and we'll have to wait and see. And eventually, the rumors are that North Wilkesboro will get a NASCAR Cup Series event. Quite possibly, and quite possibly the most ironic thing ever, it might replace Texas Motor Speedway, which, of course, was the track that ultimately North Wilkesboro gave up its final date to accommodate. So we'll have to wait and see how that all plays out. Now, one thing that is confirmed to be returning to the NASCAR Cup Series side of things is practice. Kinda. Not the practice perhaps you remember from the pre-COVID days. There will be 15 to 20 minutes on ovals and road courses, and then that will be followed by split group, multiple round, single car qualifying, if that makes sense. Super speedways such as Daytona and Talladega will not have practice, save for one race. We'll talk about that in just a second. Bristol Dirt will have heat races. Now, 6 events will have a special 50-minute practice session, and those include the Daytona 500. So the Daytona 500 has 1 practice session. The first Atlanta race on the new surface. Bristol Dirt, Gateway, first Cup Series race there. Nashville again. And the second Phoenix race, which of course is the season finale. Now, the statement that I want to talk about perhaps the most about practice and qualifying comes from SiriusXM when they had the Senior VP of Competition, Scott Miller from NASCAR, explaining why they made the changes. Now, the reason I'm going to point this out is because listen to how many times the word fans is mentioned for justification versus the word content for the TV providers?
We got together with, the tracks and the broadcast partners and teams and some drivers to kind of come up with this formula here that we announced today to kind of, get some more content back in the program, kind of create an intriguing sort of qualifying program for TV and for the folks at the racetrack. And we're excited about it. It's something obviously new with a short practice leading into a qualifying session, but I think it's going to be intriguing. One aspect of it that I think is going to be really fun is the fact that we're going to have sort of two groups. So as one group is going and we have that on-track content, you guys and the television partners will have the unique opportunity to kind of talk to the drivers in the other group while kind of the other lot is out there qualifying. So we're really looking forward to it. We looked at a lot of things as we were putting it together, and obviously with the COVID and, no practice and qualifying, a lot of efficiencies were created within the industry. So we tried to, put content back, compelling content, and keep as many of the efficiencies and travel for all of the stakeholders in the sport. So we're excited about where we landed here, and what you guys saw today in the release is I believe a good start. There may be some adjustments, 5 minutes here and there as we get into it. Some of the actual qualifying laps at some racetracks, because of the lap times, will take more time than others. So there could be a few adjustments from the exact timing that was sort of presented there, but we're excited about it.
And I think it really says something about the way things are in NASCAR, this statement, because I've never heard the word content used quite so brazenly when referring to a sport. Like, I've heard sports called content before, and certainly to a TV provider, it's always going to be content. But to hear like something that is so basic to auto racing as getting out during a weekend and practicing with your car, it's very strange. It's very strange. And it's not like I don't understand the reason why NASCAR caters to the TV providers as hard as they do. I think they're getting around $1 billion a year from Fox, combined from Fox and NBC, the two broadcast partners with NASCAR. And that's why that new TV deal, which is coming up in 2025, is going to be so important to the sport. Possibly why NASCAR is bending so hard to the TV providers. I guess you should thank the TV providers, because Fox in particular was one of the two, well, obviously they're one of the two, but they were one of the loudest proponents on the pro practice side of things, wanting that to come back because they were lacking NASCAR coverage for the price that they were paying for it. But when I think about it and I go, man, like 15 minutes. When I raced go-karts at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, we had 3 practice sessions and a warm-up, which that total time was 30 minutes, not 15 minutes. What racing series anywhere? I mean, I guess maybe some dirt stuff where they just do hot laps and that also counts as qualifying. But, is anyone doing only 15 minutes of practice? It's just very weird to me. It's very strange. And I think, and that's the thing too, is like, you heard the COVID excuse. And this is one thing that I should just tell you just in general. At this point, if a company is using an excuse or using COVID as an excuse to give you an inferior product, at this point, it's not because of COVID. Like, it just simply is not at this point. It's just they're just selling you a bad product and trying to use, some sort of a moral high ground to pretend like the bad product shouldn't be bad or should be bad, because the situation. Because ultimately, Formula One's doing like 3 practice sessions a weekend, and now they're doing sprint races at some races. IndyCar, IMSA, which is owned by NASCAR. I was at Petit Le Mans last weekend. As much practice, as much track time as there ever is. So it's just really weird to me. And especially with it being the next-gen car, brand new car, to all the teams, all the drivers. I don't know, man. It's really weird. And I think, obviously, they know better than I do. They see their numbers. They know what the TV providers, teams, drivers, everybody expects better than I do. That being said, I feel like this is going to come home to roost at some point. Like, you just can't have this kind of contempt for what your fans want, and just not expect it to bite you eventually. Maybe the business model is working right now, but eventually it won't. And what happens when those TV providers decide they don't want to pay the money that they're paying right now? So I don't know. That whole clip just really rubbed me the wrong way. And I'm not even like mad about it anymore, because like I kind of know where NASCAR stands, and I've kind of accepted that NASCAR is going to be what it's going to be, and you can pay attention to it, you can see what's going on, but ultimately, the change, they ain't changing for me. I'll put it that way. They change a lot, but they're not changing for me. So it is what it is. I guess to end it on a positive, we are getting practice back. We are getting qualifying back. Is it quite in the form that I think it should be? No, but at least there'll be some headlines and some sense of what the race weekends are going to look like, and that, to me, is a good thing. So thank you guys so much for watching. This has been David Land on YouTube. Subscribe for more motorsport content, and I'll see you in the next video.